Hi everyone, it's been a minute. You already know who I am. I'll go ahead and introduce my beautiful host here today. Mate Matonga.
Oh,
Taipei, ngari pe ko mahinga ko ya. Can you introduce yourself? Where you from? And your name or what name you want to go by? Iyo. And then we'll start. We'll just get it going.
yeah. My name is Olivia Gefu. I'm from Rose Park, Salt Lake City, Utah. Rose Park. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I don't know what else to say. There's nothing interesting.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things interesting about you. I'm glad that V is on here. Well, we call her V. You have to be her peoples. But to you is Olivia. Okay. But I'm glad that V is on tonight because I've been thinking about coming back, but something the spirit just didn't feel right to me because it was like I didn't really have nothing to talk about, and just everything that's going on with the world right now. I was just felt, I don't know, just tired, exhausted, like who cares? And then we're here, and I'm glad that Lee's here to have this talanoa and let's talk about it. And we want to talk. We both have been dragged on social media. We have both been dragged. We're just gonna start there. Can you share your story and then I'll share mine and then we'll go from there. Like the first time or the moment whatever story you want to share of being dragged and how you felt as a woman, a Tongan American woman. How did it make you feel the first time that it happened with you?
Well, the first time I've ever been dragged was I used to be on the I'm Proud to be Tongan page. And the guy running that page, he told us he wanted content from us. So like I did a video, and this was back in like 2000, I want to say 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there, I guess. I made a video just of like, how people, when you make a mistake and you're Tongan, people will blame the village that you come from, like it's. I just did examples on there, like, man, feel like you're from Vaini, feel out Vaini Vale.
Right.
Like, feel out Uiha, and I put my own villages there, like, feel out Kolomo, like, and I thought people would get the joke, like, people will ta'ak you, no matter where you come, anything you do, like, it's a joke thing.
Right.
Oh, people got so offended by that.
Right.
They thought I was attacking their village specifically. And they were like, who does this girl think she is talking about? Mind you, I never said something specifically about each village. I did like a little skit, like when somebody...
You're just being funny. You're just trying to... Because that's what we do. Yeah.
Not even funny. They like... It is true. People sometimes don't, and it's a joke thing, but I guess it did a full 360 from what I intended. I think Tonga Now posted it, and I had no idea. They shared it onto their page until my mom called me and was cussing me out, saying one of my cousins from Tonga is fighting for his life in the comments.
Shout out to the cousin, the real ones.
They didn't tell me, and I didn't know I was getting. And then the comments started being negative on the video. Then the guy even got mad at me, the one that told us to post more. He's why did you post that? You need to like be more like pissed off. And at that time, I'm like, hey, Facebook's not paying at that time.
Not at the time, right?
Free content, free content. So that was the first time I got dragged.
And how did it feel? Like at the first time?
I thought I made a huge mistake. I felt hella dumb. I like, why did I even do that? This and that. And then I thought about it and I was like, actually, I know what my intentions were. I didn't mean.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think that till like maybe 5 years later down the line. I went and deleted it, but that time, yeah, I felt helpless. I felt like a disgrace to my family. Yeah,
You're speaking to me right now.
yeah,
Yes.
a disgrace. You know, I think, why did I post that video? Why did I post
Right. And it doesn't help us as women. We're conditioned to like bring honor to our family. You know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I felt like I never wanted to have social media again.
That's funny. No, I mean it isn't funny, but like look at you now. You're matching at that.
Now I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know. Your honor, and like Lee's the one who kind of pushes me to get out of that. Because with me, social media was more of like I was really just trying to be the bring light. Really, that's because that's the normal, my natural. If you know me, you know me. I'm always gonna find something to inspire in all the mess, right? And so, like, the funny thing is, the first time I did get dragged, it was just me starting in a group and promoting self-love. Like, it's hilarious when I think about it. Like, I was just like, self-love, da da da. And then it didn't realize the people I was working with was feeling some type of way, and then boom, dragged me. And all the feelings you're explaining, I felt embarrassed, I felt shame, I felt like I did something wrong, like it. But also at the same time, it didn't make sense because I was like, I'm just trying to bring light, or speak life to people. Because like, I think low key my intentions too is because I know how that feels as a woman. Like, I had to learn to be this, and I learned a lot of things. Fast forward, we're here today, and then the same thing. I was trying to bring self-awareness, and I got, it went left. And then I was like, you know what? It's like, no matter we do good, we're gonna get dragged. You do bad, you're gonna get dragged. I feel like when you're bad, people love that.
Yeah.
They're like, support that, and they're like, or like you have to almost fake it. You have to think like, let's be real. Social media game is not for the weak, but a lot of times, like, if you want to hit on social media, you have to like almost put yourself in this image for your audience. Because like you want to make everyone happy, because you're nothing without your following really on social media. Like, let's be real about that, and yeah, and now we're here today. I want to talk about. I didn't want to dwell on that because we're here today, and it's like whatever. The situation is. It opened my eyes to a lot of things. Who my real ones are. I see you. I see the ones that just sat there and watched. Thank you for just watching. But let's be real though. Like, people don't have the courage. People don't have the courage to be honest about like how they really feel. You can watch and see someone say the most racist stuff, the most, and then like people just like turn a blind eye, and I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. And Lee has given me the courage. Well, she just don't care, but yeah. Another thing that I wanted to, with social media, because obviously you just said you were on a page, and like, you've been doing this for a while. We're like almost the same, but I wasn't pushing social media until a little bit after. What is when you first started, what was your goal in mind? Or like, what made you want to do social media like this? Because I've had people say, man, I don't know how you do it. Like, how do you have the courage? What was your drive? What made you start putting yourself out on social media?
You know, so when you say that, really what it was is I came from Tonga. No, I mean
Yeah.
I grew up here, but I lived in Tonga for a minute, and then when I came back here, there was Vine, and I was like a little fob when I came. I didn't see that much represent like stuff I could relate to. And you know, honestly, like a lot of people say this too. It's sometimes it's something you don't think about. You just did it like for a long time. And so that's where I started. I would go on Vine and just like make funny videos just to laugh at, like, just really for myself, really. And then like the Tongan pages used to take some of my videos. They would take some of my videos. And then one day, I think I went at it. And normally I like arguing. I don't know why. I mean, I don't like arguing. I like debating. There you go.
Debating. No, yeah, you like to debate. Yeah.
Arguing is for like, I don't like to argue, right? I like to debate to correct someone when I know they're wrong.
Because I've seen that before we get to that point. I have seen that happen a lot, especially with the whole politics thing. I've seen a lot of people who want to argue, and to me it's like, but I'm different. I'm a different type of bitch. You can teach me. I'm very open-minded, you know. So like, but I've seen with this whole craziness that's happening in the world. Like, I want to. If we debate, cool. If I'm wrong, okay. Like, teach me. I haven't seen that. A lot of people like just want to kape. Just want to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what's your point?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, wait. I like to argue, but I don't.
Right.
I like when people, if I'm gonna debate or something with somebody, there has to be evidence and facts.
Right.
I don't want to argue with someone with opinions. You know, like
right.
lies. So I think I went at it with somebody in the comment section on one of the Tongan pages, and I think the guy that owned the page, he kind of noticed like I was a bit knowledgeable about like Tonga, and that was only because I lived there for a little bit. I'm not, you know, like a main source, but I don't know. So he asked me to join the page, then I joined that page, and I guess he wanted us to like push content on there, and this was like before content creators was really
I know. I remember.
It was on YouTube kind of, but content creators still wasn't really a thing.
And they were not getting paid either. You guys were not getting paid. I remember. Now everyone's getting paid, and that's another topic because people are getting paid, and sometimes people do things for views and likes, and then they undermine their morals. That's just my opinion on that, you know. But like, I feel also a lot of times people are just messy to get those views, you know. And so when I see comments or see a video of like they're trying to make you think about it, so you can have these debates like what you do. I think that's awesome, and I think because we lack critical thinking.
Really.
That's where a lot of drama happens. It's that it's just really the math ain't mathing, you know. But like also we're very laulotu Christian, and we over here. That's why I brought her, because I'm be real. I know the scriptures, but I can't like word it, like give you. Anyways, it doesn't matter. And V is here to like. I wanted to talk about that, to tie in the whole social media mess that's going on, and the whole Christianity, and like there's so much hate right now. But V, what is your view, or what's your opinion? If Jesus was here, what do you think he would be doing at this point if he was here? And also, second question, what was like, if you could share a story of a situation where he addressed it, he addressed something that he didn't like that was happening at that time, that went against what the community was doing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, can you present and then what's actually in the Bible?
Yeah. So one thing I feel like I don't even think, I feel like I know for sure, if Jesus was here, he'd be calling out the leaders for, you know, people can just say, hey, I love God, I'm a Christian, I'm Christianity, and some people will stand up and applaud for that person,
right?
Work they're actually doing. Jesus, you know what? A lot of people said Jesus was an activist, low key, but high key. He in his time he was always calling out. I feel like he was always calling out the Pharisees.
The Pharisees are what? Just for people that wouldn't know.
They were high religious leaders.
Okay, gotcha.
The Jewish faith, you know. Obviously Christianity came after Christ. So everyone was Jewish because before Christ, basically. He was always calling them out because they had these high leadership roles in church. You know, they were respected, but their hearts wasn't for the people.
Greedy.
Yeah, it was greedy. I think.
I mean, can we relate? People watching us, amen.
And that's why. Gosh, I can go on. That's why.
Go ahead, speak, girl. This is your time, girl.
He was a man. He wasn't a man. If you look at his life, he came as a poor man.
I know. Like, let's talk about how he was, like, just the beginning, that you brought that up. You know, especially people like, you know, you know, Kolo or something. He went and was, Mary had him in the lowest of low places.
The major, yeah.
The major with the animals. So what does that say? The animals we were not worthy enough. With the animals. What?
Yeah.
You know? That's so amazing to think about that. You brought that up. Yeah. And then what?
Well, basically, he was like a refugee.
Yeah.
You know, for starters. He had to flee. Mary had to flee her country because there were so many prophecies about a king coming. So
gotcha. I was gonna ask why was he a refugee? Okay, got it.
They were trying to even Moses. During Moses' time, you know, she had to put her son in the river and send him off so that he could So most of these the biggest people that we talk about in the Bible were refugees. They had to flee from persecution.
So that means immigrants.
Yes. So
because remember, people don't know how to put two and two together.
Yeah.
That means we have to draw a board.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
He was a refugee. Mary had to leave where she was from, have him in a foreign land. Yeah, she had to have him in a foreign land because it wasn't safe to have him. Where they're from, Nazareth. Yeah, so that's the first thing. He was poor. He wasn't those rich people, you know. When he preached, he was preaching among poor people. He wasn't hanging out with the Pharisees.
And that's really something that I always go back to. What I know of the Bible, what I know of Jesus. I was like, he wasn't with the rich. Yeah. He was with them, the poor. Well, us, the poor. He was with the poor, you know, the sick, and you know. I'm over there with them. I'm like, I mean, with that.
And so many times he calls out rich people. So one time there was a guy that came up to him and was like, hey, how do I get to heaven?
Yeah.
I follow the 10 commandments, doing everything right. And he said, first you must love God as you love yourself. He's like, okay, do that. Then the second thing he said, sell all of your riches and then come follow me.
Sell all your riches and then what do you...
I don't know if he said sell it or give it away.
Give it away. I think, yeah.
either give it away or sell it. All of it. The guy turned around and just walked off sad because he was hella rich. Then Jesus turned back to his people and he said, "Oh, I'll tell you this. It's easier for a camel to go through a needle, like through their eye or something, than a rich man to go to heaven." So always like, because the reason why is people. There's another verse that says the love of money, not money, but the love of money is the root of all evil. So when you're in love with your life here on earth, just, I guess it's not a bad thing, but if you hold on to your materialistic stuff, it can make you greedy.
Very greedy.
It can make you greedy. And the way I look at that nowadays, it's true. Because why is there they say there is no ethical billionaire. And I used to think why, and then it made sense because if you count to 1 million, just it'll take 12 days. If you're counting it 1, 2, it'll take 12 days. If you count to 1 billion, I think it's like 36 years.
That's crazy. That's like a lot of money.
Well, 36. Now convert that to money. How does someone have so much money like that, and we still have people on the street? We still have this.
Right.
And now I know why he says, and we all know it. We call them the 1%.
Yeah, the 1%ers. We're dealing with them right now.
They own
everything.
Almost like a super, like, what do you call it? I don't know, but
they just own everything, basically. I mean,
their wealth compared to the 99% is they own most of the wealth that there is.
It's crazy part is not just wealth. That's how, and the money ties in with power. And like there's that small amount controls almost everything, or it does control everything. And scary, but it's the truth.
And people, economists, like people that study finance, they said there is no way a billionaire is ethical because of the money they get versus the work produced, like
Right. What's ethical mean?
Ethical is like integrity, kind of. Ethical is like kind of faitotono. There's no
behind the closed doors, in front of the social media.
There's no be a billionaire and you got it without being messy, slimy, greedy. There's no way.
Right. I mean,
how can someone own that much? When you think about counting to 1 billion, that takes 36 years to have that much amount of money.
And it's crazy. When they have that amount, like the greed is real. It's like they keep wanting more and more and more and more and more, and it's like
more and more. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's where they lose. Well, I don't know because we don't know how that feels, but just watching, analyzing what it is, I'm like, it's almost, when I look at billionaires, they look like they don't have a soul. They just smile, but like no kind. Obviously, the way they move is kind of hello, scary.
What I think it is it's almost like crack.
Right.
Disclaimer:
we've never had crack on my smoke crack, huh?
Well, like the effects of crack. Like if you much money, you're on a high and you don't want to come low. There's a documentary about all the people that won the lottery.
Yeah.
And almost, I don't even know the percentage, let's just say about almost a lot of them ended up
lost it all
and more depressed.
Yeah.
Because they were hecka on that wave. They were on this high, thinking they're untouchable, and then when they lost the money, came crashing down. And that's what happens to, that's how crackers are. They're on a high. When they withdraw, they're crashing. They're taking, make the change.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The love of money is the root of all evil. Because if you love money so much, anyone can pay you to do anything.
That good thing that you brought that up, and we're just gonna tie into what I watched today. I watched a series on Netflix. It's called Apple. What was it? Apple cider vinegar or something like that. Anyways, the character is based off of a real person. Basically she talking about the things people do for money and to be successful. She created this whole story to make her brand of natural food and stuff. And Doc Boy, she said that she had cancer and she healed herself by the way she eats and stuff. And in our community where we come from, we have like natural medicine and da. So I was kind of curious watching them. Anyways, in that show, like this girl lied about everything. Like, that she had this and this, and so she created this app, and everyone, like through social media, seeing her story, downloaded her app, and started following it. People were believing her. So people were not doing their medicines, and doctors, whatever their sickness was, they followed her because they believed her story and da. But the crazy thing is that it wasn't until way after she's already gained all this money, success, and she's won awards for this, and I also wrote a book that the two journalists started digging. They were like, what's crazy? There was no proof of medicine. I mean, medical bills or doctors that she had before that were interviewed. So they started digging and couldn't find out. It was she fooled everyone. It was all a freaking lie. And it's just crazy because how we talk about people and money and greed, and how we're on social media, we're here now. And it's so easy to lose it's such a double-edged sword being on social media, because you can get paid, and then you almost want to clickbait, is that the word? Mm-hmm. To just to get the views. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of things don't sit right with me, because I feel like I could have been I went viral on accident, the recent one, but that wasn't what I was trying to do the way it went, But what I'm trying to say is sometimes my integrity, not sometimes, what I feel is right, my morals and this and that, always override the money that I could be making.
Yeah.
Because girl, the struggle be real, right? But when I watched this video, everyone watched the show. When I watched it, and then I also went on YouTube and watched the person that it's based off of, I was even on her interview, she was she didn't answer a straight answer. But it was just crazy for me, because us on social media, it's so easy to be tempted to just fuck it, let me just get that bag. Have you ever had experienced a moment in time where you felt let me just get this bag, and because I know what the audience wants, been tempted to do that, feel let me just make that money, go against what you felt wasn't sitting right, your views or whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm trying to think of a time. Because I think sometimes when I was on that page, we weren't even making money. So
yeah,
you know what? I'm trying to think so hard if there was a time that I don't think so.
That's good. That's awesome. Me, it was like it's not
so hard
even.
to do it just because I suck at. I know. I mean, like, not that I suck at lying, but I just sometimes I just can't help it. Like, I can't be like.
We just say, "Yeah, ako, you're coffee, okay." So, kuya pe malo. No, and I love that about you because, like, for me, I realize as you know time goes, I'm a people pleaser because, like, you know, I've always loved to collab with people. I've always wanted to, you know, the thing is, I am a people pleaser, but also like, I just want everyone to win. Like, seriously. But I realize nobody wants me to win. Like, it's so crazy. Like, you know, I'm just like, you go, girl, or you know, whoever. But like, as I get older, and I realize a lot of things I let slide because you know, I've always worried about how others feel and how you know my sense of pleasing others will always. I've always put myself last, you know, and it'll create my own trauma that I have to heal on my own while these people move on with life and I didn't give them the hell that they gave me, you know? And so me wasn't monetized, was more just wanting to, because I'm really big on nofo kainga, you know, because like I'm very Tongan in a sense of like, I want to, even this, like I'm a type, I want us to win and then I'm going to capet you because I care, you know, like and even this, even though my people keep playing in my face, I want to create what Bougie Coconut was about. You know, you pivot. What I started with was this, and we're here today because you have to change with the times. And I'm not the same person when I started, you know. And I appreciate who I was. I appreciate the people, the experiences that I've had with other people. But I understand now, like, people are not for me like I am for them. And it's a hard truth. So I think mine wasn't about monetizing. It was more about just the Tongan in me of just no kainga. Oh, yeah. And it brings the people pleaser at, you know, that part of us that we don't realize. And when people, like, I think you said this before, that people are so selfish or self-centered. And we don't, when you come here, because like people are disconnected. I don't know what it is. So not that I'm saying like I don't want to know for kainga, but like at this point, I'm just gonna do me and just the people that meet my energy because like right now, the world is going like we say, you ready for war? And I'd be like, whatever you took your finger and ruin the head you have, man. She always be, are you ready for war? And I'm like, no, we're gonna war up here. We're gonna create, we're gonna put stuff out, and we're gonna hopefully if you watch this, it kind of mafayo and think like, but you know, also time me play nice here and play demure, like we're gonna talk about it. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. It really doesn't matter if you like it or not. We're gonna create this. Did you answer what I asked? Yeah, you did, huh? About yeah, you did. You said you wouldn't about monetizing. Yeah, you were like, I'm not surprised. Because we okay, can I share the word the girls girl? I'm a girls girl. We but I love the honesty, and you know what? She kind of made me realize, like, no, I'm gonna be honest about it. Let's not be cowards anymore. People, stop being cowards. Like, there's a difference. There's a thing that really irritates me. Being nice should be automatic. And a lot of people think being nice is being kind. But there's people who's nice, they're not kind. They're nice for show, but they're not kind. And yes. I'm kind. I know that. That's why I can cuss you out. I can do whatever and say whatever because I know when I meet people, I'm always kind to them. How they react to me later and treat me later, that's on them. Because I've had that many times where people I've always been kind to them, and then they turn and do this crazy stuff. But anyways,
can I go more into that?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. While I look at my questions, go ahead, girl.
Yeah, like Wicked. You know, there's a Glinda and Elphaba. Elphaba is nice. She's like,
which one's that one?
Serve each other.
The green?
No, the good witch.
Okay. Good.
She's nice. Like,
yeah.
She even though it's not nice, but she's nice about it. Like, you know, when she tries to turn down the guy that likes her. Oh, go to the one in the wheelchair, you know. That question is just really being Kovi.
Low coffee.
But
no, because it's like for coffee of a bee, but like what I was always saying about you, like, just be real about it. Say it with your whole chest. Because, like, you know, people assume that you're, like, being nice. You're like, oh, I like you. She likes me. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's how I look at, because I love that movie, Wicked. I love that book and the message. And what were you saying about sorry, go ahead, finish.
Oh, Elphaba. She's actually kind because she sees the animals being targeted and persecuted and sticks up for them. She's not nice about it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know who she yelled. Did she yell at Glinda? She was yelling at someone.
The guy, the prince. Remember?
Because of how he said her name. He's like, Glinda.
Yeah. And about that movie, if you haven't watched that movie, that's another one. That like really made me realize, like, the villain, there's always a reason they become that, and usually they're the good guy. Like,
yeah, and she's Glinda. She was unapologetic. No, Elphaba was unapologetic, but her heart and her intentions
were always
was good, because she defending people she saw that was suffering. Glinda, you know, she was too scared to stick up for other people, you know. She wanted
no backbone,
people pleaser. At the end, I was like, let's go.
But she's the one that was praised. Remember the beginning of the scene when she's like people praised her, because growing up, that's all we knew. She was Glenda, the good witch and the bad witch. And I
was calling out the big bad leader, the Wiz, for being a fraud. And no one wanted to believe that he was actually a fraud. So it was easier to criminalize her because she's green.
I can relate.
It was easier to criticize her and say she's the bad guy, even though he was the one secretly trying to kill all the animals.
And he wasn't what people thought he was. Remember, he was hiding behind, like,
they couldn't handle the truth. They couldn't.
Hello.
Yeah, that's why Elphaba was the bad guy, because she couldn't help but be herself. They wanted her to they wanted her to be sorry that she was green. She never was. She never apologized for being green. Because everyone's like, oh, when they saw her, she's like, oh, look at my teeth.
Right.
I know you ain't talking about my skin color.
Right. Hello.
That's why they didn't like her. But if it was Glinda, you know.
Because it made them feel uncomfortable of, like, you know, what they know. And, you know, like, we are without knowing, we're conditioned to feel and have these beliefs that actually makes us closed-minded. Without intentionally, that wasn't the reason, but, like, it happened. So, like, when someone says something or looks different from what you're used to, it's almost ill, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and the movie's called Wicked because she was wicked.
Wicked.
So that's
was,
when you say kind
yeah,
and nice, that's what I think of that movie. Perfect example.
Yeah, you're not even think about that because I don't know. I've always said kind, and now you kind of bring it together because, like, I didn't, just I pay attention to the details of everything. Like people, I always try to understand why someone is a certain way, and I think this is what we're gonna do on here. Not saying like we yes, we don't have any degrees or anything, and what does it matter at this point? Because like
we have a degree in life.
Yeah, we do, and also it's good to have these conversations and like really talk about it, and we're not gonna shy away from it either, because like currently what's happening, we were jokingly saying, I was saying war. What is happening right now is the fight. Is a spiritual fight. We have war of like what's right and wrong. There is really no gray area. People make it seem like that's what it is. And if you want to do that just to because you don't want to piss off anyone and put like, because it's right or wrong. That's it. But if you want to be those people that create a gray area of it all, then you're the problem. Because like, listen, like we said about Jesus Christ, she explained when he was here on earth in the Bible. And if you don't believe her, read the Bible. Maybe we can promote people reading the Bible. Maybe you need a refresher at the mind. Maybe,
Yeah, and there's a different message, honestly, because the Bible is split up into Old Testament, New Testament is where Christ comes in, and we call ourselves what? Christian. So the Old Testament, yeah, that's for another conversation.
That's for another conversation. But like I feel like we have this will be our thing with me and B, and we might we will have other people hop on too. Yeah. But I feel like because me and her has been talking about a lot of things, politics, let's be real, and we're just talking about like our families and how everything's happening, and it's just unreal. Also, we talk about how it affects us and how social media is like, the game is changing because like you can get monetized here.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you now, people that are watching, it's really not about that. I mean, if we get paid, cool. But like, really, I'm just trying to push out these conversations that are not being had, and maybe one day people can actually have debates and not argue, because people are always ready to talk.
But it's like, what is your goal?
Yeah.
Are you trying to really find out what's the truth?
Right.
If you're finding the truth, then you'll be learning more. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're looking to win an argument, it's your ego. You just
talk about it.
So that's why I pick and fight.
Right.
I pick and choose my battles.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like Jesus says, I'm knocking at the door. It's up to you whether you want to open it or not.
Right.
And that's what, so it's just like, if you want to hear what I have to say for real, you'll sit down and listen.
Right.
If you're gonna just listen to be right, or if you have valid points, but at the end of the day, I don't have my view on life is everyone needs to be taken care of.
Right. That's exactly how I feel too. And
if you deserve it or not.
Right. No.
you know.
Because that's not our job to do that, to judge. And like I tie it back to also nofo kainga, nofo. I want to also bring the Tongan culture of it all. You know, our people love to put the flag on their profiles. You know, rock the flag everywhere, mate matonga thing. But like the craziness of it all is that you have to wear that and make sure that you remember where we come from and what we're about. Because like it's crazy when I see these comments going off so homophobic and stuff, and people will say it's just social media. Yeah, but our people should know how to do better. Because like the four pillars, like this, come on now, there's 4 pillars, and I'm not gonna sit here and preach about it because like you should know what's up, and especially what's going on in America. We all come from immigrants. All of us are come from immigrants. Someone came down from Tonga here. So the fact that if I don't see a lot of noise about that, and I don't see a lot of people bothered about that, is crazy work to me. And you know, that's a you thing, not a me thing.
I think it is too. I think it's because, you know, as time has gone, as time has passed, I pretty much fit in society. But like you don't know how it felt for your grandma, her first time coming to America and feeling embarrassed because they don't speak English. You don't know how it felt like for the grandpa, you know what I mean? I'm glad my grandma is still alive.
Yeah.
And when she found out about, you know, people, them wanting to take away the birth citizen right?
Yeah.
She was like shocked. She knows like to come from Tonga.
Yeah.
Here and, you know, whinga mo'ui.
Yeah, that's all it is.
She was just shocked that like, and I didn't even tell her. I'm like, you know, some of your
right.
Our own
yep.
Huh? They want the whole coming to America, having a kid here, and then becoming a citizen. Because I know a lot of people that do that, especially American Samoa.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought up your grandma because I kind of mentioned, I was thinking about the immigration thingy, and I was thinking about my parents, and I was thinking like, you know, them sacrificing, leaving where they come from, their families, and all was their why was to help the families back in the islands, you know, and which they did, but like, you know, we're now then the next generation. Their hope is for us to be successful, but you know, I've always been taught like to always remember, no matter what, love is the answer of all things. You know, don't ever lose that. You know, ma'ape ofa. And so when I see people attack immigrants because they're all criminals, I was like, immigrant story is sacrifice, leaving their countries. And it wasn't about themselves. It was like they wanted the American dream so they can turn around and help their families back home, you know. And most of their stories are like that, you know. And like, to me, it's a beautiful love letter to what America is about. Because everybody here besides American Indians are immigrants, you know, and everyone came here for freedom, for a dream, and like I just don't like every criminals are all, I mean, immigrants are all criminals. That's not far from the case. And it's crazy because like I've talked to people that who don't have documents, they're undocumented. They're so brainwashed. They were like, well, if I get sent home, you know, it's okay. Like basically kind of, and I'm just sitting there like, wow. It couldn't be me.
Yeah.
And that's sad. That's sad.
I don't. I'm just like,
I know we both went
know
like this.
This is
Yeah. But I'm glad you brought up our and right now, with everything that has happened, it was all meant to be. It's a blessing in disguise, and I feel my ancestors with me. We come from warriors. We are not people that like just sit there and take it. There was a reason why our country is the way it is. We were not, there's a lot of things I can say that in the end of the day, though, we stuck together, like we're kainga, but if what we're doing here, and I'm glad V's here to speak her truth, is to have these conversations. Because and just be real about it, how you really feel, and have these debates and question yourself. Question shit. Like, stop sitting there and just like, question it. Because, are you effing serious?
You said your mom told you something like the most, whatever you be successful, yeah. But never forget to be like, what? Always have love?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that just reminded me of, it's like in the Bible.
Oh, Bible, yeah.
Like, what is the number one rule? And God said to love God with all your heart and soul, and love your neighbors.
Thank you.
That was the golden. That's the golden commandment. He says this one, and let me kind of actually explain it. That one trumps all. It trumps every single verse, anything God said. Love God and your neighbor as yourself. That's the top one.
That's crazy.
Remember how I told you I went through the 10 commandments to
Yeah, I remember you questioned some. Yeah.
The summary, when you look at the 10 commandments, it actually all equals up to that rule. To love your neighbor. So the first one I think was worship only God, no other God. Second,
worship only God. Okay.
Not
second.
Figures that they're chosen by God. The second one was, I think, I feel like I'm gonna lie. I know it's something like that. Don't have any idols. Something. I think it was almost similar to the first one.
But I do remember, love thy neighbor, love one another.
Yeah,
that one. I've heard that over and over and over.
There's
growing up.
Like, honor your parents.
Right.
Third is don't kill, don't steal.
Don't kill, eh?
Number 9 is don't lie, don't bear false witness.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's 8. I don't know the order. Don't bear false. Another one is don't manmanu, to don't covet your neighbor's possessions.
Because that's a real thing right there.
And it comes through greed.
Right.
If you're looking at something else, you're not appreciating what you have. You're being greedy. Anyways, and then I forgot what the last one was. But all of them, I looked at it, all of them make sense. And the reason they're in the law, because when you break one of those commandments, you're hurting your neighbor. If you're gonna lie, you're hurting your neighbor. If you're gonna steal from them, if you just follow that one golden rule, automatically following all the 10 rules.
And then you can be called the people of Christ. Because if you're following that rule, because
you're following that rule,
it's crazy when the whole thingy, you brought that up, love thy neighbor. I wasn't thinking about it, and I was thinking about how am I gonna pivot using this whole viral thingy, because people are watching, they're seeing what I'm gonna do. Well, I don't know if that's what they're doing, but nothing really sat right with me, because I was like, I don't want to do that. And what I wanted to kind of like, no, what I wanted to do for myself at my here was get to know my neighbors. And the only reason I was it also is because like with everything that's going on, like our community, like we don't know who our neighbors are. We don't talk to them just in case something happens, like, and I wanted to build that, relationship of like we can help each other out just in case. And that's crazy that you brought that up, but that was like what I wanted to do here at home was like talk to my neighbors, and I'll be like, this neighbor over there, and never talk to her. So I keep my niece. Oh, Vale be like, hi, but she's opening the door and like, hi, and she's like, hi, because she's like not used to me saying what's up, but it's a start, and like,
no, it's really good. My neighbors, they're the best. I didn't know we changed our garbage day, and she texted me via. My mom said, "Do you know that we changed our garbage day?" I said, "She's all, oh." She said, "It's okay. My mom walked over to your house and checked your guys' garbage can. You guys didn't have any garbage."
Oh, that reminds me of my cousin I was living with. Shout out to Anna. Anna, she's a big supporter of Bougie Coconut or me. And like, when we were living with her, she's such a great neighbor. Like, she'll go and look and check everyone's bebe and when I was living with her, because to have someone so considerate,
yeah,
it's like, oh fuck it, like in a different thing, because it's like, oh my gosh, they always say the Tongan like and so I kind of learned to be, because I'm not gonna lie, can be an a-hole sometimes, because I'm just like whatever, but when I see that type of action from someone, I'm like, stop, like we're all human. Like, I know there's, but like we need to get along here because we deal with each other. I mean, we don't know what's going, but I think now that you brought up the Bible, guys, it's part of the 10 Commandments, eh?
If you follow that one rule, you're gonna it's automatically following the regular 10 Commandments. And that's pretty sad that people are more focused on the transgender, the LGBTQT, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a big issue, wouldn't it be in one of the commandments? That's another topic too.
We will talk about. Yeah.
But
so but we will definitely talk about that and have that conversation in the near future for sure. But I feel like what we talked about right now, the conversation was exactly what it needed to be, the intention of it.
And I have one more thing. I got because the topic, I guess, today was kind of like, scared to speak out, or when you get scared to get dragged for standing for trying to help others. One of the things I don't know, I don't know the story. I'll find out who quoted this, but I think it was one of the guys that was alive during the Holocaust.
Okay.
He said, first they came for the Jews or something, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the who else? I didn't say anything because I wasn't black, or like, I'm just gonna throw a random example. I don't know the exact wording. Then they came for talking about the sortias.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, if you're Jewish, and then he said, and then when they came for me, no one stood up for me because they were all gone already.
Yeah.
So it was like, if you're not gonna stand up for other people, how are you gonna expect the time you get persecuted?
Right.
For people no one's gonna be there. That's why always help the targeted people.
Right.
Helpless, the defenseless. And for me, the defenseless is the poor people, immigrants, LGBTQT,
Yeah.
or I guess they're part of that. Anyone that's being targeted, marginalized, people
Right.
in Palestine, Congo. I can't even name all the people.
But if you know,
being targeted, the billionaires. They're being because they have so much money. People easily trust them, saying,
right.
"Oh, they know how to manage all that money. They know how to manage a country." No, because there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. So how would a billionaire run a country if their own workers are still struggling to pay their own rent? You know what I mean?
Right.
They were a good leader. Their employees, the lowest of their employees, wouldn't be sort of struggling. Looking at Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
Yeah.
How many times through Amazon?
Right.
They make pennies. Not even fraction of pennies. So how is it so easy to trust these billionaires? Anyways, I think I went off track. But yeah, if you're not gonna stand for anything, you'll fall for anything.
Fall for anything. And that's why this episode is really the whole what I wanted to, and I think we kind of targeted all your intentions, especially social media, or like just seeing what's going on in the world. What is your intentions? Like, make sure you're coming from, you know what, I'm going to speak for myself, but what you do is up to you because you have that freedom to choose. But for me, it's always going to be the intention of it all, and make sure that I'm coming from a good place. Also, I'm learning to have the courage to speak up even if I know I'm going to deal with backlash, because like we said, you know, love thy neighbors, and like that's part of the 10 Commandments. And also with that being said, how I can help is with using my voice, putting these conversations out and giving voice to people who are not being heard, and like at least we can talk about it, and hopefully it starts a conversation. Like when that video came out of mine, now people talking about ICE, talking about that they're allowed to go to these schools now and churches, because like the law that protected that is gone. They took it away last month. So like, regardless the backlash and all, the conversation is there now, you know. And I would say we're at war right now, spiritual war. And in the end of the day, I can say that I was on the right side. So you ask yourself, which side do you want to be? But you know, we already talked about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I did. And thank you, V. I really enjoyed the conversation, and like, you know, fight a good fight. Spiritual fight, and like love your neighbors, love like how you love yourself. That's funny that V said that, because like just kind of because it's something that my mom always taught us, and I've seen it through example. It makes sense that when you follow that I've always felt like I've always had peace and protection, and things I've been always guided in a way where like I'm protected when I follow that rule of loving others, loving myself, and loving my neighbors. There is a blessing in it, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I didn't think about that. So next episode, join us, write us questions, talk about it. Come and drag us if you want. You know, at least the conversation is.
I know how people take. I'm always ready to get dragged, because I remember I put a video one time. It went viral, just of my mom crying.
I remember. Oh my gosh, that was so terrible. People
still found the bad in that and say, "Why you record your mom? Who records the mom crying?" So I wouldn't be surprised if this video goes opposite direction of what we supposed to do.
At this point, like, and bring the smoke, because then I'm gonna ask you, why are you triggered?
Yeah.
And I have learned too. We're just gonna end it so that we can have more stuff to talk about. But I have learned too, like Lee brought this up to me, that when you're authentically yourself, it irritates people. And we're this is not a cookie cutter type of like show or whatever you're trying to look for. These are real talanoas, like our ancestors, when they will have talanoa and past history and all this stuff from generation to generation. So for me, it's like them. They said it with their chest and didn't apologize for it. And thank you for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, we're out. Peace to the people. Hold on. Okay.